Lumies. You may have seen these cute little sentient flowers around the spiral as someone's pet, or maybe you have some Lumies of your own. You might remember Sunny and Lippy from the Caramel prequest back in 2020, or maybe you even recall the brief mention of Lumies in the main storyline of 2021's Lemuria. But did you know they didn't originate from Wizard101? That's right. The Lumies came from a different KingsIsle game, specifically Gloombusters, a short-lived Match 3 mobile game that was quietly soft-launched on Google Play in select countries on August 27, 2019, and was shut down less than 7 months later. It's not surprising if you've never heard of it. So, what was Gloombusters? There's unfortunately not really enough out there to go in depth about the game's story, but the general premise was the Lumies lived in a place called Rainbow Town, which was a paradise of color, joy, and imagination, before something called the Gloom came and robbed the land and the Lumies of their vibrancy. It was then up to you as the mayor of Rainbow Town to help restore the town and its residents to their former glory by solving Match 3 puzzles, and using the paintbrushes awarded from completing said levels to give color back to the various areas and rescue Lumies to add to your collection. You could bring any Lumies you earned into a level, where they would have unique special abilities. If you wanted, you could increase your Lumies star ranking to add bonus turns to your turn count. Lumies even belong to different teams, and collecting Lumies of the same team would contribute to a shared team ability you could use to your advantage in levels. Other than that, the gameplay was pretty standard to other Match 3 games like KingsIsle's previously released Animal Cove, as well as your other big hitters at the time like Candy Crush Saga, Toon Blast, Homescapes, etc. etc. You match 3 pieces of the same kind, you use different power-ups, and you can then fuse those power-ups to create even stronger ones. Now that you have a little bit of context about what Gloombusters was, let's go back to the part where we mentioned that the game shut down. On February 21st, 2020, KingsIsle announced via the official Gloombusters Twitter account that support for the game would be discontinued come March 4th, just a couple weeks away. At this point, it appears the game hadn't received any kind of major update in a few months, and as far as we know, there hadn't been any talk of bringing the game to any markets outside of the ones it launched in. By this time of the year, development on Wizard101's upcoming Caramel expansion, the first world of the MMO's fourth story arc, was also ramping up, and somewhere along the way, the decision was likely made to include the Lumies in some form in the new world. Joel White, aka Decius, who at the time was a senior systems designer for KingsIsle, explicitly stated that after the cancellation of Gloombusters, he did, quote, everything he could to make sure the Lumies were used again. The Lumies' inclusion in one of the flagship 101 titles would come in the second of 2 limited-time Caramel prequests released for Wizard101 that summer, which featured 2 new characters by the name of Sunny and Lippy, voiced by Mike Sears and TJ O'Leary. At the end of the quest, players were given a free Fern Lumi pet as a reward for completion, and 3 other pets, the Tulip Lumi, Daisy Lumi, and Sunny Lumi, were added to the Crown Shop. Though the Lumies are no longer available for purchase from the Crown Shop as of the release of this video, and the quest they first appeared in is no longer playable, a permanent mention came early on in Wizard101's 2021 Lemuria expansion, when Fitzhume accuses the Lumies of misfiling a book on animism in the Arcanum's Graveyard of False Knowledge, where it ended up bringing a bunch of other books to life. With this and the existence of the 4 current Lumi pets, a bright spot of a fairly unpopular era of KingsIsle's history lives on. It's possible we could even see the return of the Lumi someday, as delving into the files reveals that there are several other unused Lumi types that have yet to be introduced into the game proper. So, where do the Lumi stack up for you against the Spiral's many other races? If Gloombusters still existed today, would you play it? Let us know in the comments below, and thank you for watching.